Hello everyone and welcome back to Trainz a New Era, and we're going to be continuing our coal run. Now, as you'll probably recall from the last video, we were just getting to this point and OBS shut down on me, taking the game with it. Now I have driven through, had to restart the scenario and go through it all again. And we're back here at Peabody with our loaded train. Wait for it to load all the graphics in. So we're here at this point, and we're going to continue on. So, without further ado, let's unpause this and get it running. I have had to play around with sounds. Hopefully you can still hear the game, but it isn't overpowering, drowning me out. One thing I was very keen on trying to get rid of, if you've seen my last one-shot video, you couldn't hear me. And I apologise for that. Maybe that's a good thing. Some of you saying, yeah, he's been drowned out, but you know, I'd like to think I have occasionally useful or important things to say. And of course, if the game sound is drowning me out, then it's all lost. So anyway, here we are, coming back into Peabody. See, we've got a stop hand there, 0.3 miles away. Stop and marker, then decouple from the loaded coal cars and return the locos. Bit of overspeeding there. Back down the grade, the switches have been aligned to take us to Gilbert's tipple, where we will load the other half of our train. Okay. Need to get this train under control. Don't know whether it's a gradient change or what it is, but we suddenly went from crawling at the correct speed to flying along. So decouple the coal cars at this point. So we're just going to jump outside. Not in the building. Want to bring the train to a stop. Just past here. Not sure if we have to decouple the cars there or we have to stop the locos there. What we'll do is we'll got enough room, we'll bring the locos forward, decouple, and then move on. A Greyhound bus in. Oh, we've broken the gates. But run our train forward. Off to Gilbert's tipple, get the second part of our train. Run from there. I believe, yeah, it is. This is where we came and dropped wood off previously. Remembering our first coal run video, we visited this lumber yard. Go a bit quicker than this. We've got the road. full past here and select points. Unless it changes automatically for us. What can I do? There we go. I'm going to jump back in this loco now. See, we've got our green light. Let's head off back down. Pine lumber. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying this game. I did consider getting Trainz 19 in the summer sale. However, I'll be honest, looking at the performance of a new era on this system, there are a lot of graphical updates for 19, and I don't think my current PC would give us an enjoyable experience. So that is why I decided in the end, we'll leave it for now. We can build our route in a new era, which is coming. We're gonna get building on that. I need to find some time to play with the editor some more. Get familiar with all the tools. We can do that. So when that's done and dusted, and I'm at a point where I'm comfortable showing you us building the route, we'll get on with that in a new era. And once the PC upgrade comes, we can look at getting Trainz 19 and porting it across. Now, I know that does mean I'll have to go back and redo some of the scenery, but that could be a good video in itself, showing the differences between the two games, porting routes over, and what we have to do to bring them up to a better standard. That's interesting. So it's only 1.3 miles. We need to go get our next train. Thought it's going to be a bit further than that. Get a bit more speed up. Can do 30. Leave it riding at 28 for now. While we head round. Light there for the diverging track, of course, which is where we've left our coal train. And it's where we started the video, facing the other way. So anyway, what did you guys get? Did you get any train related stuff in the summer sale? Sale ending on the 9th, of course. So did you get everything you wanted? Did you get anything at all? Is there anything you purchased that you wasn't happy with? Maybe you got a refund, or maybe you've kept it but it didn't quite live up to what you was hoping or expecting. I mean, I had that situation myself, and you'll have seen it with Train Spotting Simulator. It's an okay little fun diversion game, but the longevity of it leaves a bit to be desired, let's be honest. But, you know, the developer is probably starting out, and that may have been his first or second ever game that he's created. And if we can chuck a couple of quid their way for their efforts, so be it. I mean, in the big scheme of things, it's not a lot of money to me. I'm not trying to like devalue money or anything, but a couple of quid, I'd spend that if I was in town on a coffee, for example. So in that sense, it's not a lot to me. It'll be quite a big boost to the developer of that game. More sort of, when I say a boost, I mean in morale, of course, rather than financially. A couple of quid's not going to change his life financially, but no, if that was me, I'd feel like, oh yeah, we've got another sale. Everyone likes our game, and it'd give me that sort of drive to continue on and potentially make bigger and better things. $15 limit here for this next corner. Really are going to have to switch it up from DCC mode. Because it's not so much my mouse that's not fine enough, it's just this dial. Doesn't let you have the fine control you'd like. So we've got a yellow here. We are taking the line straight up, of course. Oh no, we're diverging. Sorry. So the bottom signal there is for the diverging route. Top is for straight on. I'll have to try and remember that. Whilst I have read up on US signals in the past, there are very many different systems. To be honest, if you don't work with them all the time, you can forget, as I am doing. So, as we can see on the HUD, top right, I wish I didn't have to rely on this, but my knowledge of the route is such that I have to. We do have 5 mile an hour limit coming up. Yeah, that would be roughly where just before the train. Now I don't know whether we need to load this one or not, or whether it's going to be ready loaded for us. I guess in 0.3 miles we'll find out. The outside scenery of this. Glorious view. Grab a screenshot of that, I think. That'll go up on Steam. Middle loco rolling around on the tracks. Bring this pony down to 5 mile an hour, ready for the limit. It looks like we may be coupling up to the train, pulling it through the loader, and then continuing back to Peabody this time rather than having to run round. Yeah, couple the cars and load at the tipple. Once complete, take the cars to Peabody and couple to the front of the train we loaded earlier. Awesome. So we are already down at a 5 mile an hour limit. It's all good. We just need to couple up to our train. just see at the bottom of the screen the loading symbols come up. We know that we do need to pull the train back through here. Ease forward. Grab our train. Go. They're all coupled up. Now what I'm going to do is just jump back into this train. And start pulling it forward. Can roll through at 4 miles an hour, that's fine. As he tries to grab that magical 5 miles an hour. See the train filling up there? I'm back in this loco now. That may not be a usable screenshot there, but I just thought we'll try and grab it anyway. I did mean to grab one, if I'm honest, when we connected up to the train. Fully equipped FRA Part 223 glazing. Interesting to see what the FRA Part 223 regulations are on the glazing. I'm guessing it means that they can take kind of your bird strikes or whatever. Wonder if they're actually bulletproof. Not that anyone should be shooting at a train, but curious to see if they actually specify that in the FRA codes, just in case. Got a 15 mile an hour limit now, so yep, our train is through. Oh, the bit of a delay in loading in the scenery there. Anyway, we've got our 15 mile an hour now, so get it rolling a bit more. We've got almost a 3% grade heading down the hill. I'm just gonna ease off the power a little bit. Don't really want this train running away from us here. See, got a marker here. We're going via and a reversing marker up there, which will be at Peabody, so we can back down on to the train we loaded in part 1. This scenario, or session as Trainz like to call it, is a reasonably lengthy one. I mean, you can see the time. We started this at 7 o'clock game time. So coming up on an hour's running now. Of course we do have to connect this up to the other part and then take the train forward from there onwards. Now we get the upward grade. 20 mph sign there. Of course we need to get the rear of the train past that before we can accelerate. Though we do have another 15 limit coming up, so it's debatable whether it's worth accelerating, to be honest. I'm just going to add a little bit more, try to keep that 15 mph limit. Yeah, we've gone up there to 20 mph limit. You can see the 15 again is right around this corner, so not worth accelerating for that. You just touch the control and it wivels round. You end up scrubbing off more than you intended to. Back under 15 there, which we know we're well under. The trestle bridge. Our drone footage. Jump back in. Through the tree there. Yeah, 2.5% grade, climbing up again. We do have our sander, which is the V button. Although, realistically, I don't think, certainly in DCT mode, we need it. Just under a mile to the 30 mph limit. Unfortunately, by the time we get there, oh, we are in a 30 now. Right. Get this pony show moving. What I was about to say is, by the time we get to this limit, we're almost going to be at Peabody ready to turn around. So here's the Peabody limit here, so yeah. Limited. And why we need to take it up there, but I'm going to put the power on just to try and get us up this last bit of grade. Don't want to be hanging around all day. Time is money. Really hear the locos working at the moment. There we go. On the level now. As that train finishes off the hump, it will increase speed. And there's the rear of our second part of the train, which of course is what we're gonna go and grab, ready for onwards movement. Drop off speed now. We are approaching 30, we are up to 30 in fact. And soon we need to be slowing down, ready for reversing. Give them a little toot, let them know we're coming through. The marker for the reversal point. Of course, you need to bring it all the way up here. You need to pass that crossing there. I think that will do. Take a walk over here. Once the train is clear of junction PB5. We're not. You have permission to switch point and pass the signal at danger to couple to the rest of the consist. Let's flip that. Acknowledge that. Start reversing our train. Bit more power into it. I think something like that. Give it a bit more power. One thing this doesn't have, or I certainly don't seem to be able to find, is without clicking on sort of the rear wagon and then thus losing control of the train, doesn't seem to be a view that locks to the rear of the train, which I'd like. But hey ho, not a dovetail game, and you know, these things happen, and as you see, we've worked our way around it. In the free camera we'll be able to see where we need to be. Ooh. Where we don't need to be is doing that. blow this up. Don't want to come flying into the second part of our train here. Use that to 1 mile an hour. Come on. Come on. Keep it coming. There we go. Once we have our train, we can proceed downgrade to Richmond to unload. So. Here we go. Off to Richmond we go. Passing the half-an-hour point in this video, so not doing too bad. May be able to get this one finished in this part 2. The 0.8 miles. Whether that's a waypoint, I imagine, rather than Richmond, but we'll see when we get there. Put a bit more speed into it. We have a 20 mile an hour limit here. Okay, 19. 19's good. We're not breaking speed limit here at 19. Our downgrade once again. One thing I did think would be an interesting diversion is creating our own session on this route. I don't know if that's something you guys would like to see. If so, please, as always, go ahead, let me know down in the comments and we can make that happen. Or whether you'd probably like me to just make the session offline and then we try it out together. I certainly think this route has a lot more to offer. As it stands, we have 2 more sessions we can use. One is the railfan mode, which I think is basically a bunch of AI consists set up to run at predetermined times and places, and we just fly around and watch them, which could be fun if we know when and where the trains are coming from. And the other one I've been looking forward to, I mentioned it in part 1 of this video that I'd like to do it, and that is using the passenger cars for a tourist train. Of course, once we've done those, we run out of sessions that come with the route. Now there may be more sessions available which don't require additional sort of assets, locos, what have you. If anyone does know of any more, then please by all means let me know in the comments what they're called, what their idea is, and we'll take a look at those. I don't want to get into additional DLCs at the moment, or paid DLCs, because as I say, it makes it a bit more complicated when it comes to creating our own route. If I ever want to upload it, I don't want a load of paid dependencies built in. So coming up to our marker now. Going to be taking the divergent track here in Richmond. So Richmond Yard is quite close. So we are coming up to the end of this. Got a 15 mile an hour limit in half a mile, so don't have to start killing speed yet. It can go a little bit quicker. Blow our way through that little crossing there. Coming up to that 15 limit now. Just going to back off the power. Ready for that. Could bleed a bit more power off train, that would be great, thank you. As you can see, we've now bled off too much. Okay. 0.40 miles to our unloading facility. We do have a 10 mile an hour limit coming up, so we'll just hold the train at 10 rather than worrying about getting it up to 15 again. And so we can unload at 10 mile an hour there. So we've arrived in Richmond. The junctions are set for the coal unloading track, Pass by the crane at no more than 10 mile an hour. Once empty, take the train forward out of the yard, which junction RYD 11, and revert it back into the siding next to the unloader. So, got to unload our train, and we've also got to stable it. Which I'm fine with that, we can do that. Not sure if you would unload at 10 mile per hour. Seems a bit quick, but we'll see. Maybe it's a trestle there. Not sure whether that's a case of a bridge being there or some sort of rolling stage or watering stage, possibly. Right, here we are at Richmond Yard. Give everything a second to load in. Yeah, it's quite a considerable length of train we've got here, actually. This is our unloader. See the train. Off the loads there. So I'm not really comfortable with this whole idea of you discharge at 10 mile an hour, but hey ho, it works. On this wagon here. So we do retain engine control here. Cool to know. Wait for everything to jump back in. Which RYD 11 when we get to that point. Guessing by the speed limit we have finished unloading our train now. Yep, we have. We've got a 10 mile an hour limit now, which is fine. Not actually on rear wagon. So this one here is RYD 11. Ahead. Good old rail box there. Forward. Ah. It's not good. Ignore the fact that we've just parked inside this Wabash. Yeah. Excuse me. Just ignore that, please. Get back to the end of our train. RYD 11. Switch that. And let's start reversing. That's why we should always keep an eye on the front of the train, folks. Blowing the horn, but of course you won't hear it from here. Hello! How's it going over there? Yeah, we're just bringing our train in. Thank you. Back. Here. See, we've got half a mile to head along yet. Right on the button for 10 mile an hour. That's good. course, you wouldn't want to be shunting back at any higher speed than this, because you have got an S curve with the reverse points, and too high speed, of course, could lead to a derailment. Just keep reversing this up. It's going to be a bit of a longer video, but I'm sure you guys don't mind. Rather it stretch on to the sort of 50-55 minute mark, rather than us having to cut short and come back just for a very short segment. Go. Still over a quarter of a mile reverse. These are quite long holding sidings here. Out. Take another up along the train. There we go. So it's done for the day. Session complete. Yeah, that's going to be it for this one. As I say, you can see we've got rail fanning and tourist train still to do. But that's going to be for another day. Yeah, that's, as I say, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and you're not already a subscriber, I encourage you to just hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll receive notifications of when the next video is released. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.